Hi everyone, this is Hien and welcome to TradeBot Secrets. And this video I'm going to kind of tell a little bit of I guess we'll call it a secret backstory on why I created TradeBot Secrets. So let's go ahead and start. Alright, so I've always been fascinated about automating trades. I always, ever since college, I was like, man, if I could just program something that would actually go out and make money. It's like making a robot that would work for you and actually generate some income. I thought that would be a really awesome idea. So it's been a while and I finally figured out how to program and actually put something together where we could automate certain parts of it, things that we do repetitively that I've done manually that I've learned. And I was like, hey, wouldn't it be great if I could just click a button and it's already set up, And that's what I did with one of the trainings that you'll see somewhere on this page where it did very well. It helped me rank number 10 on one of the earlier Bybit competitions. Okay, so what I realized is that as soon as I stopped trading, I stopped making money, which means it's no different than the job, a job that you work at, right? You stop going to work, you stop making money. It's no different. So in order to change that, I thought, hey, what if I could teach a bot everything that I've learned and then have it recognize those patterns and then put those trades in, right? So it can identify those patterns even when I'm not there. It can track it 24/7, and it's the same pattern, the same thing that you do anyway, right? You buy and you sell, you buy and you sell, you sell, you not buy. Once you see these patterns, then you kind of just do it over and over and over. Okay, so if I could automate these trades, that means you'll be able to spend more time with your family and actually be there for them. Okay. So and I remember the times when I was there trading late at night. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I think I entered the position around like 1 o'clock or midnight, and I'm just so tired. Like I had a cloudy mind. My eyes were like getting really sleepy. I was just kind of like dozing off here and there. And I could not think clearly. I couldn't close out my trades. And I just noticed that my health was declining as far as like getting enough sleep. My brain started hurting. I started getting these little flashy eye deals kind of thing, like eye strain. And even no matter what, even though I went to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, or even 6 sometimes, I still couldn't sleep right after that. I couldn't fall asleep right away. It just kept me up all night. I don't know if it's just the blue screen or blue light, whatever. So anyways, being there for my kids, I realized that my dad was barely there for me because he was always working the night shift. He made donuts at night, and so when I'm home from school, he's sleeping during the day, and then by the time I go to bed, he's going off to work at night, and he'll come back 4 in the morning and kind of repeat the process. So I kind of barely saw the guy, right? And one day he just and he always comes home being frustrated. And one day he came home and he actually hit my mom one night, and it was just a traumatic moment where like I was just a little boy, like all I could do was just dad. I just try to pull him back and try to stop him, and I didn't know what was going on at the time. I was just like, dude, he's angry. That's all I know. And I don't know it was me because and it turns out that it was about money. It was a money fight, and I thought it was my fault for actually asking him to for a computer one day, and I don't know if that was the case, but yeah, I thought it was my fault. And I don't know. I just remember as a boy, just hearing the fighting across the room, the echoing of that, and just kind of like, just kind of cry yourself to sleep as a kid, just confused and just scared, right? So I realized that money took my dad away each night. He was just working every day for very little, and no matter how hard he worked, it seems like there was not enough. So, and there's actually a bigger secret behind that one, which I won't share right now, but we'll share in an email that I'll be sending you. Let's talk to you about that. So I never wanted to neglect my kids, and that's Evan, Penelope, and Eli. Penelope's my oldest, Evan's second, and Eli's the youngest. But I find myself leaving Penelope when she was young because of money problems, and I couldn't understand why I was having the same problems too, you know. And it just hurt when every time I go to work and leave, she would be like holding me like I gotta say goodbye to her, and she's like, "Dad," and I'm pushing her away because I have to go, right? I don't want to be late, and she's like got her nails there like clinging on, and it's like, "Dad," and crying her eyes out, and it just breaks my heart just to have to leave her and be able to be away for 12-hour days. Working night shift, overtime, it was hard on my feet all day at a bullet factory. It just wasn't what I wanted. So realized that we have a lot of broken families these days, and they all turn to gangs as one thing, or maybe even drugs as a replacement for the family that they didn't have. Okay. So what I hope to do is I hope to change one family at a time with what I've learned to help bring parents home. And so I created TradeBot Secrets to share the strategies and the automations that I've learned, and so that you don't have to go through the time and training. It's all taught to a bot that could then be able to run and serve you and your family. Okay. So as I've kind of created this over time, they're like simple pieces, you know, like there's certain levels here, but right now we have certain pieces that kind of build or is part of a bigger piece, and we kind of put those little pieces together until we build a bigger piece that goes to another bigger piece into another bigger piece. Okay. And so it's just kind of like building the letters that fits into the words that then fit into a sentence, and then use those sentences that fit into a paragraph, and then that paragraph fits into a book kind of thing. Eventually it's going to evolve to a point where it'll be fully automated, and I can't do this alone. All this is it needs your support too, because if there's no need for it, then why, right? So eventually it's going to lead to artificial intelligence, because what I've learned is that no matter what settings I've created, you always got to be constantly changing. The market's always constantly moving. It's doing some weird stuff. It's moving fast. We have to decide fast, and it gets to a point where it's like, hey, you know what? I think we're in this artificial realm where, like, yeah, I can kind of change it a little bit higher, a little bit lower, constantly tweaking it, and the market changes again, and you kind of like another level, you change it, tweak it, all this other stuff, right? So it gets to a point where it's like, you know, I think we're moving to artificial intelligence, where it can decide and learn on an evolutionary way. It actually builds neurons over time and learns, and then all this other stuff. It's just amazing what's out there that you can do, and letting the computer make decisions and learn, and then based on the result, it can learn based on that result and how that improved it, and keep the best result, and continually learning to get the most dollar and ROI to serve us. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm going with this. As I build these pieces and parts to it, I hope to move you through higher and higher sophisticated bots that would perform much better with higher returns, and serve your family. All right, so you're excited about this? You want to get a head start on this and accelerate that path? Go ahead and sign up and join our family. I'm sure there's a link somewhere below to get you there. But if you're still worried, there's other links for you to kind of get more information, for you to kind of get your feet wet. I want to serve you first, provide you with value, and if it has helped you and your family, then definitely join the movement and the cause, or the support the project. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you then.